Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be running you through my leg day at 9 weeks out and basically giving you all the reasoning behind the things that I do for this session. So I like to begin basically with a couple minutes on the treadmill, just sipping my hot pre-workout, getting in the zone, looking at the session ahead, and then I kind of proceed into some activation work. And I really can't recommend this enough, especially if you have pre-existing injuries or current injuries. And here I'm just focusing on my abductors and my glutes. Did a little bit of foam rolling and trigger balling as well before this too. So the first exercise of the day will be barbell Romanian deadlifts, and I'll be doing 2 sets of 6 to 8 reps. You might notice that it is only 2 sets, and I typically follow the volume landmarks for this of doing 10 to 20 working sets per week for each major muscle group. And I've found by trial and error that doing around 2 sets for the major movements and going at a high intensity, so around a minimum of 3 reps in reserve anywhere to failure, is most appropriate for me. And I find that if I elevate the volume too much, so my weekly sets, I do just get injured, which is unfortunate. But here I am just warming up, so I'll start with a plate, 2 plates, 3 plates. And today I'll be working with, I think, 175 kilos, which is pretty decent for me at this stage of prep. Very happy with my strength retention. And yeah, let's get into that first working set. So exercise number 2 of the session will be hack squats, 2 sets again of 6 to 8 reps. And I really like this movement. I've been able to maintain strength and even progress throughout this prep, which is excellent. And I do like wearing a belt even at this stage because it just really helps with the bracing component and my stability. So this is just a warm-up set here. I like to do 1 to 2 warm-up sets for each of these major compound exercises, and we'll head into the first working set of this movement. Next up we have Barber Hip Thrust, and you guessed it, 2 sets again, but this time 10 to 12 reps. So hip hinging in general is a favorite of mine. It's also a strong point in terms of my strength. And here I'm doing 225 kilos for 2 sets of 11 reps, I think. And yeah, guys out there, don't dismiss the hip thrust. It's great for building your glutes and hamstrings, especially in that side chest pose if you're a bodybuilder. And here you can see I'm using the low box. There's nothing worse than using like a high bench or a high box. It feels very awkward with the hip thrust. So I suggest trying out a lower platform. And I'm using a pad on my hips to prevent the barbell from digging into my pelvis and causing any bruising. And I'm also breathing in deeply and bracing before each rep. So that's the hip thrust. Highly recommend it. Into the second half of the session now, exercise number 4, which is Smith machine Bulgarian split squat, 2 sets each leg, and it does have quite the notorious reputation. It's just an incredibly difficult exercise, as you can probably tell by my facials here, but I managed to hold on for dear life in terms of maintenance and progression on this exercise. It's really too good to miss out on in terms of adductor stimulus, quad stimulus, glute development, glute ham tie-in. for males and females as well. So I highly recommend this one. It's not to be confused with the regular split squat because I do have my rear foot elevated at the back, and I do like using the Smith machine at this stage of prep. It just adds that extra element of stability and balance. Highly recommend this one. Onto seated leg curl, and you'll notice that I'm doing 3 sets here and actually going closer to failure or to failure because I can recover so much better from these isolation movements. And you can see I'm also really digging in with the pad here, pushing against it to generate as much stability as possible and prevent me from using muscles other than my hamstrings. And let's be honest, it's not a leg workout without some knee flexion in there, and the seated leg curl is such a great option. So next we have single leg extension, again 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, and I actually do double leg extension in my first leg day, and I like to do single leg extension for today's session, and I do get a really good connection with this one. Anecdotally, I do feel it more in the outer quad sweep as well, which is great. And you'll notice again, I'm trying to generate as much stability as possible, really digging myself into the seat with that handle so my bum doesn't come off the bench. And finishing this session with some calf press and cable ab crunch. So that's a wrap for my leg workout today. Hopefully that provided you with a decent insight into what it's like training legs at 9 weeks out. It's really important to make all of those sets count, especially when I'm only doing 2 of them for my main exercises. So we're gonna head home now, have some post-workout because we're both hungry. And if you like this style of content, please remember to leave a like, leave a comment, press that subscribe button, and Tiara and I will see you in the next video.
Try this, try